Hi everyone. So I'm just gonna start right off the bat by saying this is gonna be a much shorter video than my last one. I'm kind of in a bit of a rush this morning. I gotta head off somewhere. I didn't want to give up on the videos this quickly. I wanted to get something in, so I'm just gonna try and do that quickly before I get going. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly talk about this week. In all honesty, there isn't a whole lot to say because unfortunately this was not a very good week for me, honestly. As I mentioned in my last video, I kind of been fighting this cold for the last 4 weeks now. I keep finding I have half a week where I feel awful. I can't do much. I'm really congested. I have to lay low a lot. And then the next half of the week, I start feeling a little bit better. I start going out and doing stuff, and then it just knocks me right back. I don't know if this means I need to rest even more. I don't know if at this point maybe I need to go see a doctor or something, because this has been almost a month of this now. It has been a month of this now. And yeah, this really sucks. Basically this week though, I wasn't really having the cold sort of symptoms that I was having previously. There was a little bit of a mono scare. My lymph nodes were really swollen. I was unbelievably exhausted. I had no energy to do anything. I kept having to take naps midday and rest a lot. I mention all of this because this week I was going through that, just not feeling 100%, really not feeling that well, very low in energy. And on top of that, I've agreed to help a couple friends on some projects. And I mean, that's great. And I'm not trying to be ungrateful. I'm glad they want to work with me. But I've just had to at least try to do some tasks for them this week. And because there's a quicker deadline for that, I've just been prioritizing that over kind of everything else. On top of that too, because I've been sick, I've tried to pick up a bunch of shifts where I can this week. And again, I know it's my responsibility to manage my time and balance things and fit these things in. But between the work I had this week, between feeling as sick as I did and feeling as low energy as I did not have it in me to do much. So unfortunately this week in a lot of ways was a bit of a waste. I didn't do nothing. I did do my tasks, but I kind of half-assed it. I did morning pages only twice this week. And this is a good thing, but I did notice the absence of them because I do find the morning pages really let you just listen to yourself, be honest with yourself, let things come out the way that they need to. And especially going through all of this, feeling a bit overwhelmed with work, wanting to get things done and just not having the energy to do so, and just feeling really frustrated that still, I just can't get over this sickness. I found that to be really frustrating, and I should have taken the time to get up early and just get those thoughts out. There's a project that I'm trying to get off the ground. Am I even in focus? I'm trying to get this project off the ground and get momentum going on it. I'm not going to get into specifics. That might come up in later videos. We'll see. But at the early stages, I don't want to specify exactly what it is. But anyway, some things just came up this week that just really delayed my progress. And that was another thing that just kind of flattened me a little bit this week. I know things come up, obstacles come up, and it's not like the project's dead or anything. So, everything's going to be fine. It's just on top of everything else going on this week. It's just been very frustrating. There's just been a very frustrating week, and I found it very hard to get ahead of things. At the same time too, though, I don't want to sound entitled. I don't want to sound lazy. It is my responsibility to get these things done, to find time, to make it work. And yes, I was sick. I got to cut myself a little bit of slack too. I will say, just with how I've half-assed this week, the way that I did, I'm just kind of disappointed in myself that this early I've been phoning it in and not doing it the way that I know that I should be. So I really hope that next week I can just, sick or not, I can just find my way to get it in, make the time properly. I think something I'm going to try to do is, if I feel off, really try to make my tasks easy to stick to. I think that maybe was an issue this week. I tried to do similar things I did last week. I didn't make the time that I should have to commit to it. Given that the last few weeks have actually been pretty productive creatively, and I've been much better about making time to be creative. It's just been very fulfilling, and I do feel like it's helping me find my way into making time to create more. My goal really is to spend time working on some kind of creative project every single day, and I felt like I was making really good progress with that. And this week, I didn't really do anything creative, and I'm disappointed, and I can feel the absence of it. So I do think that's a good sign. I think that's showing me that I'm making progress, and that it's becoming a more important part of my life, a more essential part of my life, and I'm seeing how it makes me feel when I do make the time to do it. One other thing I do quickly want to mention, one of the Artist Way tasks this week was to do a life pie and kind of see the elements, all different elements of your life that you are fulfilled in, and you kind of have to rank how fulfilled you are with them. And there's really only one in that pie that I feel like I'm really fulfilled with. And that was a bit eye-opening. Anyway, I guess overall this week's message for me and what I've taken away from this week is that I cannot half-ass this course. I think ultimately I really, and it's unfortunate that this is still a lesson I have to keep learning, because I do feel like in a lot of ways I've made progress on this. This is something that I used to struggle with a lot as a teenager, but time management, if I had just been more balanced and more intentional with my time this week, I think I really could have just made a lot more progress. And again, I was exhausted. I was not feeling my best, but just making a little more of an effort to balance my time would have made such a difference. And so that's something I'm going to try to do going forward. Even if I'm not feeling my best, just try to find the balance in little ways where I can. Anyway, I guess that's about it. I should probably get going soon. I'm sorry that this is a bit of a shorter video and not the most exciting news. This has been a bit of a frustrating and disappointing week for me, but I do have faith that I'll get back on track and make more of an effort and do a little better in the weeks going forward. I've seen how half-assing this makes me feel, and this is way too important to me to just kind of slip up on.